Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel. I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering Beyond the Gates. This is episodes November 17th through the 21st. I do appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Thank you. I usually give weekly episodes, so also this is Thanksgiving week. Happy Thanksgiving to you all. Wherever you go, celebrate. Be with the ones that you want to love. Laugh, all that good stuff. Cuss the folk out that you need to. And this time learn to stay away from the folks that you know that you shouldn't be around. Anyways, do what you need to do. I do appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Like this video, subscribe, and also you can leave your comments below. And let's get into this week's episodes. All right, y'all. So we're gonna start with Bill. Bill and Jacob, they cross paths at Caffeine Fix. Jacob tells Bill about the birth control pill message Naomi saw on Haley's phone. And Bill give him the out of whack hormones explanation, which Haley fed her husband. You are dumb, Bill, especially if you had a wife forever and a day. This isn't your first rodeo. And now this is the only way that you are crazy, and you deserve whatever comes to you. Bill suggests maybe Jacob should focus more on his own marriage, getting his son-in-law to admit that he and Naomi have hit a rough patch. Okay, Bill, and that's why nobody needs to feel sorry for you later, because all you're trying to say is worry about somebody else's marriage. No, somebody's trying to help your tail out. No matter how much you think that you got you a sweet thing because you got a younger woman. Later, joining Haley at the country club, Kat makes what she thinks is an offer Bill's wife can't refuse. Kat says that she'll help Haley improve her standing in a Fairmont Crest society in exchange for insight into how a family-stealing homewrecker's mind works. And we know that that's Kat's goal, to derail any plans Eva might have where Thomas is concerned. Haley's advice: fix any cracks in the relationship before Eva can slip in, and she would know. Because that's exactly what she did to Danny and Bill. Kat gets together with Thomas at the club and works on getting things back on track. She promises, I know this is a soap opera, but how many weeks are we going to see where Kat has to keep working at getting things back on track with the relationship? Ain't you tired? Kat, ain't you tired? Because I am. She promises to find ways to work through her issues with Eva, Kat, including talking to her mom. Clearly thrilled at this development, Thomas tells his girlfriend that he's fully recovered from their recent sescapades-related accident, and they decide to go celebrate. Well, we know what that's all about. Danny and Andre, they wake up in Los Angeles ready for a wild honeymoon. But things get a little awkward when Andre catches his wife up on everything that went down with Ashley before they left town. But stone cold sober, the two of them pick one another all over again. I said, that's cool. I promise you, I was not a fan of Danny and Andre, especially at how I felt like he played her. And I know he wanted her to open up, but when she did, it's just like, you wanted to go, no. But anyways, they are picking each other all over again, agreeing that a healthy relationship is hot. All right, we're at Orphogeni's. At one table, Leslie claims to Eva that Anita has entrusted her to send out the Winterfest invitations. Sure. Leslie sees this as an opportunity to ignore the guest list and invite who she wants. Across the way, Mona tells Jan she'll never forgive Leslie for what she's done. Leslie tries using Winterfest tickets to win Mona over, but to no avail. Just then, Leslie gets a call from Peaches, and then she says, "What's wrong?" And Leslie panics. I do appreciate Mona for sticking to her guns. Never get off her neck. I don't care what. Stay there, Mona. At the club, Jacob warns Isaiah to be worried where Eva's concerned, but it's Haley who has eyes on his prize. The moment he's alone, she sashays up to the hunk and strikes up a flirty conversation. She says they both need friends, and he agrees, although it's clear she wants more. But Randy calls and tells her to step up their plan to dispose of Bill, because Joey is getting suspicious. Later, Isaiah shows up at Orphogeni's. He He and Eva talk, after which they decide to go somewhere more private. Yeah, so that was all from Tuesday. And we're going to get into, Monday, but now we're going to get into Tuesday. Lord, here comes the crazy stuff, but we'll get to Leslie and what she actually discovered. Shanice and Ted are catching up and mildly flirting. When Leslie walks in, seeing them looking close, she goes from jealous to weeping in a blink of an eye. That's too many emotions, don't you think? Too many personalities to keep up with. Pulling Ted into a hug as she tells him Peaches has had a health setback. Ted sets her mind at ease and then leaves to check on a patient, at which point Leslie drops the weepy act and is downright rude to first Shanice and then the doctor treating Peaches. Now that she got all this money, now she wants to be rude and crazy. We know what's up. And please, I'm never going to be any type of sympathetic about Peaches. Peaches, you're just going to be collateral damage to this woman. And sorry for what you're going through, but I don't really care. Shanice tells the heifer, lashing out at the people taking care of Peaches is not the move. That's like spitting at the waiter right before he goes to get your order. Leslie essentially warns that she's going to have Shanice fired, to which the nurse basically shrugs. Oh, I love Shanice. Go ahead. Later, Ted and Shanice share another close moment, and she asks what he ever saw in Leslie, as we all want to know. All right, so at Uptown, Eva and Isaiah are getting to know another via some heavy-duty flirting. Having established that they are very interested in one another, they share a kiss. And then another. Unfortunately, the moment is interrupted by Leslie calling about Peaches. Eva rushes to her mom's hotel room where Leslie says that she wants Ted to treat Peaches. Ain't he the people that does plastic surgery? Having decided Ted will be part of the solution, Leslie changes the topic to Eva's date. But the real drama occurs when Leslie spots Vernon sneaking out of Sharon's hotel room. Cackling to herself, it's clear the troublemaker thinks she has the goods on Anita's husband. Wrong road. Smitty and June. Smitty, Martin, and the kids head down to Orpha Jeans, while Jessica is at the table with Tyrell. Smitty approaches June. Things are nicely awkward between them until he thanks the waitress for saving his family. They have a lovely conversation, each acknowledging the other's importance in the lives of Samantha and Tyrell. June says that Tyrell and Samantha are exactly where they're supposed to be, promising that she'll never get in the way. Okay, I guess we gotta buy that. Smitty tells Martin that he's ready for June to be a part of their extended family. I still think that that's rude. Not rude, I think it's weird. I'm sorry. I know that maybe some of y'all like that, but no. I just don't see that being a real option. And I know that this is soap opera world, but it's just like I gotta just suspend reality because this is just really stupid. But I just don't like for them to play with that type of situation because that does not happen in real life, y'all. Smitty tells Martin that he's ready for June to be a part of their extended life. Jessica tells Samantha that she dodged a bullet with Nathan, and it's largely because of Tyrell. June eavesdrops as Jessica tells Tyrell that she's thinking about going to UCLA. Ironically, his parents interrupt because they have to go home to meet with Isaiah about Tyrell possibly attending Banneker. Once they leave, June talks to Jessica, who admits it might be better to get out of her relationship with Tyrell now than try the long distance thing. Even though she said that she would not interfere, sadly, that's not happening, in my opinion. All right, so we're going to move on to Wednesday. Give me a second. People want to call Kat the villain. Don't know why, but anyways. Kat sinks to a new low after hearing more than she wanted. Plus, Leslie's plan fails. Anyways, Kat is with Grand Anita. She hates everyone and that every single person on the planet is working her nerves. On a related note, I feel every single word of that sentiment. I do. Her ire is particularly aimed at that home-wrecking whore. Anita advises Kat to watch her language. You can speak your truth, but do it with dignity. Of course, that's the articulate coming out. This is still my home. not some reality show reunion. Now, if you were in front of the gates, Anita would have been like, I don't know who you talking to, but you better straighten up your mouth before I wash it out with soap. Or before I knock the taste out of your mouth. Who do you think you are? As Kat is trash talking her new sister, Eva is confessing to Ted that she slept with Thomas. Kat doesn't want to make peace, and I'm not going to grovel, says Eva. Later, she joins Martin for lunch, but then when you heard Eva saying the story to Ted, he's like, well, he thought that they were over. As far as why Eva and Thomas got lucky. That's a bad and poor excuse. But anyway, he admits wishing Kat would just shut her big mouth, unaware that her sister is listening from the next booth over. That means Kat hears Martin and their sis cackling about Thomas's sex accident and that she was coddled by their parents. Once Martin leaves, Kat reveals herself to Eva, and the two have another verbal battle. Kat goes low, hissing, I wish your mother had gotten rid of you, because we'd all be living our best lives if you'd never been born. I could say in my Kiki Wyatt voice, that's low! I don't care. Team Kat. Returning to the table, Martin is shocked, asking what the hell is going on. We'll get back to him in a minute. Leslie's blackmail attempt is shot down. Leslie struts to the country club dining room, plops herself at Vernon's table, and not so subtly hints that she knows about the secret meetings at the hotel. She insists she's not blackmailing him. Instead, this is a case of friends scratching another's back. I must have missed the part where we became friends, Vernon says. She wants to be front and center at Winterfest, but he refuses to be bought, extorted, or bullied. Shot down, Leslie agrees to keep his secret for now. Of course, that's not going to last because she needs something to cause mischief, so whatever. Of course, Anita walks up at that moment and now wants to know what secret they're discussing. He tries changing the subject, but Anita won't derail. He tells at least a half-truth, sharing that Leslie wants to be a bigger role in Winterfest. Oh, Danny and Andre in Los Angeles, honeymoon continues in between shopping and romantic romps. They receive the wedding rings designed by a friend, slipping them onto one another's fingers. They again exchange vows in privacy of their hotel room. Fully revealing his feelings, Andre admits to Danny that he is in love with her, and she seconds that emotion. And suddenly, my once-in-a-while man is my forever. Wow. Elsewhere, Leslie runs crying to Ted about peaches. She begs him to use his connections to get her mom into a drug trial, no matter the cost. He says money won't help her in this situation, but asks him to at least try. We've had Leslie for 3 days. Are we going to have her again tomorrow? We are. Leslie. Oh, Haley and Naomi. Haley slips another dose of the mystery drug into Bill's tea and is tittering to herself about the $10 million payday when Naomi walks in. Haley covers what Bill's daughter heard, but then knocks the tea out of Naomi's hand, claiming she's protecting her from Bill's germs. Soon enough, the talk turns to Naomi and Bill's individual marriages. Could Naomi's determination to look for faults in her father's marriage be a reflection of what's going on in hers? Could be. Naomi lies through her teeth, claiming her marriage is peachy keen. Oh, I couldn't tell by your attitude. Before reluctantly apologizing for Textgate. Once Naomi leaves, Haley makes Bill another mug of tea. While she's doing that, her husband takes out the birthday gift Danny gave him, then finds an excuse to call his ex. Danny quickly dismisses the call, after which Haley returns with another cup of the special tea, which he begins sipping from. Martin tries to keep the peace. Okay. Kat's down and calls... Oh, wait. The action at Uptown picks up where yesterday's episode ended, where Martin sits Kat down and calls her out for having told Eva she wished she'd never been born. Martin ends up asking, who are you? Even as Kat lists the litany of sins Eva has committed against their family, Martin wants to bond with Eva, but Kat won't. And she sees her as anything but a grifter. Kat suggests that Martin is only bonding with Eva because of his constituents would disapprove of him icing out a newfound sister. Ooh, is that a read? What do y'all think about that? Rather than stay to talk things out, Kat exits in a huff. Martin asks Eva if it's true that she slept with Kat's boyfriend. Meanwhile, Kat is at the Dupree mansion talking to Chelsea. I need to know if I am a total bitch. Like Martin, Chelsea is shocked by the things her BFF said, and Chelsea suggests that if Kat makes Martin and Ted choose, things may not go her way. Really, this is the first time Eva had to be truthful because Martin didn't play these weird games of her trying to act like, Eva trying to act like she didn't know what was going on as to even what Thomas, with this whole situation. So, first time she told the truth. Is it going to happen again? Probably not. Danny and Andre continue celebrating their honeymoon, but she worries that upon returning home, the real world will come crashing back in. But Andre promises that they will hang on to what they found in California. They look forward to their first Thanksgiving as a married couple, although the whole Nicole and Ted thing promises to be a potential issue. Danny isn't about to forgive Andre's uncle for breaking her sister's heart. Leslie, day 4. Leslie continues to be a pain in the you-know-what to everyone at the hospital, including Peaches. Wanting better treatment and extra morphine for her mother figure, Leslie again rattles Shanice's cage. That is so dumb, because if you put more morphine into someone, they could already go on and perish. And you're too busy trying to act like you want to help her. You're just a nuisance and just stupid. Leslie again rattles Shanice's cage. The nurse is having none of it, and Ted interrupts, keeping things from getting physical. Upon hearing a friend of Ted's is heading up the experimental drug program that they can enroll Peaches in, Leslie coos about him being her hero, pulling him into a hug even as she gives Shanice the evil eye. Later, she acts like a teenager. If this was a teen story, or if this was Sammy Brady back in the 90s, I could understand it, but oh my God. Later, Ted and Leslie give Peaches the good news. Ted tells Leslie that he likes the version of her that doesn't rely on scheming and manipulation. Of course, 5 minutes later, Leslie is wagging her finger in Shanice's face, warning her to stay away from Ted. But Shanice isn't a bit shaken, as nobody should, by the other woman's threats, giving every bit as good as she gives. One more day. I think one more day. Is it? Or am I done? Are we done? Wait a minute. Hold on. But true. I don't have Fridays. Did anything happen on Friday that was just so great? Probably not. I apologize. I thought I had Friday stuff going on. But oh well. Y'all, next week I know it's going to be short because of Thanksgiving. I know there won't be one on Thursday. Possibly they're back on Friday, but I should have my review up sooner during the week instead of Sunday on this coming up week, because I'll have a couple of days off myself. So just look out for that. I appreciate you for coming by. And that's all. Like this video, subscribe, and you can leave your opinions down below. Until the next one, peace.